hopefully he will be found safe. Let's move to education matters now. Jolted by reactions from Kenyans that parents could be forced to dig deeper into their pockets to fund their children's education, the government has made an about-turn, clarifying that it does not intend to scrap free education. Education Principal Secretary Julius Bitok says the ministry will prevail upon the National Assembly to give it more budgetary allocations. Grace Nganga with that report.
The announcement by the government yesterday that it is facing difficulties in meeting some education programs has been met with fury, with Kenyans faulting the government for putting the affairs of education on the back seat. Many viewed it as a move to kill the late President Mwai Kibaki's free education dream.
We don't have the capacity as at now to finance free primary, free secondary.
When the finance minister comes out and say, we cannot finance education, yet they are financing what they are calling empowerment, then we don't understand as teachers. We don't want our taxes to go to what they are calling empowerment. We want them to finance education fully. We want them to finance health fully, because that is what the civilized government do.
But speaking today, Basic Education Principal Secretary Julius Bitok has allayed the fear, saying that the Ministry of Education will lobby Parliament to increase budget allocations to cover capitation and examination expenses.
The policy on free primary and secondary education has not changed. The government will continue financing education through capitation as it has been over the years.
Pundits say it was ironical that MPs passed the Finance Bill 2025, which includes provisions that reduce funding for free primary education, and approved the budget that proposed a 4.3 billion shillings cut to the allocation for free primary education. On Thursday, the Treasury CS John Mbadi and his education counterpart Julius Ogamba acknowledged that the current budget, which Mbadi proposed during this year's financial year, is insufficient to fully support free primary and secondary education, yet proposed additional allocation to other entities like State House, sparking debate about priorities within the government spending plan. National Assembly's Education Committee proposed to reduce capitation funds for secondary, junior and primary schools. Sentiments echoed by his boss, Education CS Julius Ogamba. According to Ogamba, the budgetary allocations needs to be relooked afresh to ensure education programs are not negatively affected.
Based on the amount that was budgeted for, when that amount is released and distributed among the number of students that we have, it comes down to 16,900. In the Ministry of Education and Treasury, we are working very hard to see that we reach that target, even before we start thinking about how to raise the figure.
National Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi has indicated that the government may revisit and possibly increase education funding if revenue collection improves in the coming months. Free primary education was introduced in 2003 by the late Mwai Kibaki.
The government will provide free secondary education from January 1st, the year 2008.
Whereas free-day secondary education was introduced 5 years later. Grace Nganga, KTN.
Let's still stick with education matters and